I'm excited to announce that we're having our first ever mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save over 50% on this season's flannel sheets. Queen size only $59.98. Kings only $69.98. They sell out fast every year, so order now. Save 20% on our brand new My Crosses. They're designed in the likeness of the one I've worn every day for over 20 years. They come in men's and women's, and they're made right here in the USA. Get our 2025 six-piece My Towel sets for only $29.98. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, just $14.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our first ever mega sale. But wait, remember that $75 free shipping rule? Well, that ship is sailed because right now, every order ships absolutely free.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Josh here, Oreo Express, and it is still Wednesday, February 26th. I hope you're all having a good day today. Hope all is well. Thank you for tuning in. If you're just popping in, please hit that like button, share us out, put them, email us out, text us out, whatever you got to do. Let's get this show out. We want to say thank you for everybody tuning in today. I hope your day's winding down. It is almost about 3:40 here on the left coast. We got some things to talk about. Some of the comments, and Harmeet Dhillon in the nomination hearing is just doing a fabulous job. We're going to show you some of the highlights from that. Show you some of, I guess you could say, the poor me Democrats that are lying to you about the budget. And we got some more woke stuff. We covered a story earlier about a trans terrorist that was leaving what appears to be bombs at a Tesla. He appears to be leaving. We got some pictures and some updates on him, and we're going to just hang out with you and see what else. Pixie, I see everything. I see everything, Pixie. I don't even need to do the show. I'm just going to let you, Pixie, comment the whole time, man. She's on it. Hello, Sugar Bear, Texas Bigfoot, Pixie, Old Uncle Bill. Let's see, Nola, Trina, Susan. Thank you guys for being here. And Rob Wallace in the house. I don't know why that one was up there. Just so you guys could have some fun, we're going to start with Wokefornia and listen to the way it's written is unhinged San Francisco Karen is angry the police have cleaned up the open-air drug market she owns a home in. You can't make this up. Listen.
Does that make you feel a little different? Hello. So, I woke up in 2020. Did you? Or were you just fucking?
Listen to it.
Hello. So, I woke up in 2020. Did you? Or were you just fucking shaking it? You know what I learned in 2020 from the murder of George Floyd? You always film the cops. I'm just gonna film my supervisor a little longer because he's a fucking big cop. When you're being filmed, when you're, having someone look over your shoulder, does that make you feel a little different? Like maybe you should behave a little better? We need that for the cops. It is life and death. And there's a lot of fucking death that has gone on here. And why aren't you interested in stopping it? I live in the heart of the open air drug market. I've lived there as a homeowner for the past 3 years. I have felt the ramp up of policing in my neighborhood on my front step, and it's only gotten worse. I am here to testify your fucking SFPD answers don't work. I want to defund the fucking police still. I want to abolish the fucking police still. only 5 years since 2020, right? Is there a time machine? Are we like 100 years from 2020? Like, what the fuck happened? I'm glad people are realizing a blue billionaire is just as horrible as a red billionaire. Okay? There's no benevolent billionaires. Why does this billionaire heir want to control us for $1 a year? What is the rush to get rid of police oversight? I have seen what's happening on 6th and Park Avenue. There are tents of like the cover recovery and shit. Come on now!
Looks just like you would expect, right? Wouldn't expect anything different, but she said she lived in the open air drug market and she wants to defund the police. She's lived there for 3 years, I think is what she said. Maybe I'm off a little bit. Maybe I got some numbers mixed up. But obviously, she's probably a user. I'll be honest. Like, if I was a fentanyl junkie or just, needed to get my high, and when I ran out of drugs, I could just open my front door, walk down the sidewalk and walk in, that would be pretty convenient for me. That'd be one reason that I would want to defund the police. This reminds me, I mean, that is a poster child of 2020 Black Lives Matter. 2020, man, poor San Francisco. They're just not getting any better. San Francisco used to be such a beautiful area. We used to try, when my kids were younger, we would go there every year for Father's Day weekend. We would go down there, spend like 2 days in San Francisco, hit the pier. There's just so many beautiful things down there, the weather. And then we would spend 2 days at the NASCAR race in Sonoma. And, man, now the only reason I go there anymore is to report on the homelessness and the open air drug dealing. I mean, you literally have Hondurans that have taken over certain illegals that have taken over certain street corners. And when we went down there last year, when I made those videos, they literally had like these bags about, I don't know, probably about 12 inches long, 8 inches wide. And they were opening it up, showing us, hey, man, what you need? We got it. Right there, cops driving by and everything. And so they put a little crack down, not crack down. They did a little enforcement out there, and they're trying to get some of that off the streets now. It has to get so bad, and the overdoses have to get so bad. So many people have to lose their lives before Democrats are like, oh, man, we got to do something. We're in the news right now. The press is looking bad. The polling's looking bad. Let's just do a little something. And that's what you've seen in San Francisco. Here we go. So we talked about the trans terrorist, the guy pretending to be a woman who was accused of vandalizing the Tesla dealership in Colorado and was arrested with explosives. Fake news continues to be fake news. Check this out. Woman accused of repeatedly vandalizing Tesla dealership in Colorado, arrested with incendiary devices. What's the next one? Let me pull up the next one. CNN. Woman with incendiary devices arrested following vandalism at Tesla dealership. Why can't they be honest and put, they don't have to put like mentally ill, but trans person, a man pretending to be a woman, arrested for more trans terrorism. Man. I think we got another picture up here coming up. Let's see. Yeah. Look at the pins on this shirt. Oh, man. These are the people that are doing damage to the Tesla dealerships in Colorado for quite a while now. We read the story earlier. It seems like police tracked this person down after they were getting multiple reports of vandalism at a Tesla dealership and opened up their investigation. And sure enough, it led to this person. Now, will this person get the help they need? No, this person, Colorado, I don't know what their state jails are like. This person could be offered a sex change operation under Colorado law. Colorado is pretty far out there. Won't be happening under federal law anymore. We've taken care of that. Thank God. Check this out. We haven't seen this for a while. I mean, it happens once in a while, but since we've had the nomination of Attorney General Pam Bondi, we've had the strictness of, hey, we're going to remove your visas if you're being anti-Semitic on our campuses, if you're making our learning spaces on college campuses an unsafe space, we're going to deport you. Yeah, it's a privilege to be here. We're going to deport you. Today, far-left Hamas-aligned extremists stormed a building at Columbia University to make demands. All of them were masked up and to be intimidating to their targets. This is from Andy No. I'm going to show you this video right here. I have a feeling, I don't know if any of them will be identified, but I have a feeling there might, I don't know what happened after this, but there might be some criminal action taking place.
There's a breach!
Why are we going up? Where's the first floor? Oh yeah, free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine!
Look at most of them are just white liberals.
Intifada revolution! There is only one solution! Intifada revolution!
There is only one solution, and I think Trump even tweeted about or posted on True Social, and that's Trumpistan, guys, right next to Israel. I hope these people are triggered about it. Again, I don't share any of their thoughts, concerns, or values. These people hate America. That's why they do this in America. And I don't feel bad for them, not one bit. I think they should be held accountable. When you're being held out of a building and you storm it, I've heard storming the Capitol before. That would be an insurrection, according to mainstream media or lamestream media, if you will. But we're just we are in a weird spot right now, folks. We are getting rid of the wokeness in some areas, but then you have the ultra liberal left areas. And I want to play this story right here. I meant to play it for you. What's today? Wednesday? I think Monday I meant to play it for you. And we've had such busy shows. I haven't got to it, but today the afternoon was a little bit more quieter. So just take a listen to this.
Eye-opener to this one, the Maryland State House advancing a bill that would permit condoms to be sold in vending machines on public school campuses, including preschools. Republicans in the legislature say it's going too far. Maryland State Delegate Kathy Shalega is calling on parents to wake up, and she joins us now. So
I'm going to play this out. Why does there need to be condoms in a kindergarten class or in a kindergarten area? Why would you need a vending machine? I'm sorry, why do you need a vending machine for condoms, period, on a public education center? You're there to learn, not screw your teacher, right? Not screw other students. That's not what I get what people in high school do, but elementary, kindergarten, you're going to have vending machines with condoms in there? And again, the people that vote for this, the people that put their bills away, I hope there's vigilante street justice for them. Whenever you sexualize a child, I don't think we should wait for law and order. I'm done pretending that's what we should do. This is absolutely disgusting. If you have children, you have grandchildren. Condoms in kindergarten areas. I'm going to put it back right here before we get FBI on us.
Here's what Maryland Department of Legislative Services says about this bill that's making its way through the State House. This bill repeals the misdemeanor prohibition against an associated penalty for selling or offering for sale a contraceptive or contraceptive device by means of a vending machine or other automatic device at a kindergarten, nursery school, elementary school, or secondary school. And I think a lot of people at home are saying, what?
All of us on that, well, most of us on the House floor said exactly that. What is this? So we offered an amendment on the bill on second reading, when you can amend a bill, to just say, look, just high schools. You know, we wouldn't like that either. The Republicans and the Maryland Freedom Caucus would not like that, but they rejected it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of schools that are teaching abstinence, right?
Well,
and,
right.
you know, maybe abstinence until marriage in a best case scenario, or maybe just abstinence until you're in college, but to put condoms in a vending machine puts it right there in front of you. But why? What justification is there for doing this at a nursery school or a kindergarten? I mean, unless you just want to make a very broad brush law that doesn't take a lot to interpret it. Put it that way.
It makes no sense whatsoever. And, you know, the intent may have at some point been high school, but when they rejected our move to just make it high school again, I, like you, would say you're discriminating against traditional families that don't want their 14-year-old daughter going to a high school and walking down the hall in front of a sex vending machine. Right. But, you know, putting this in a daycare or nursery school and, you know, into a preschool, I am a grandmother of two beautiful 10 and 7-year-old girls, and I can't imagine them walking down the hall and seeing a colorful condom vending machine with condoms and other things in it, and then having to have a conversation with the 7-year-old. You know, Mom, what's a condom? What's in that machine?
Well, maybe they're thinking if we're running out of balloons to make balloon animals, we just go to the vending machine. So here's what Maryland State Delegate Nicole Williams said, trying to justify the move. Listen here.
It's not dictating what school systems should and shouldn't do. It's not mandating anybody to do anything or suggesting that they should do something. It's just removing a criminal penalty. The sky is not going to fall if we pass this bill.
I guess what she's saying there is it's not like you're going to suddenly see condoms at preschool. It just removes the criminal penalty, and then schools are free to do what they want to do with this.
Well, that's how they start, right, John? They start by saying, oh, don't object to this. But in the meantime, there was another bill on the Health and Government Operations Committee to put Plan B, birth control pills, all kinds of things in high schools. So, you know, they're playing chess. Plan, you know, first move, we remove the penalties so we can get the vending machine in the high school and other schools as well. And then next year, they're going to come back and they're going to put birth control pills, Plan B, condoms. You know, as I told them on the House floor, next year you'll come back to regulate it. Yeah. I mean, this is how it works.
And all of this at the same time as they're also taking away a parental opt-out provision for education about gender identity in schools, too. So, and then we'll keep watching your Safe Girls in Sports bill, which you've been trying to advance. We're watching what's going on in Maine. And in fact,
so with everything we got going on in this country, these people are still trying to push a further agenda of this crap, literally crap. I don't know what else could be done that these people just want to destroy the minds of folks that are younger. And First Amendment Media gifted 1 subscription. Thank you, First Amendment Media. We appreciate you guys for gifting the subscriptions. We appreciate you more than you know. And again, thank you, Matt. Thank you, Matt. Matt says, what's next? Stripper poles in gym class. I wouldn't put it past liberal areas, San Francisco and places like that. It's pretty disgusting what we're seeing. And then I got a video here. I almost want to play it and take it out of the context it is, because it's allowed in the context it is. But before I play this video, I want you to think, imagine if a Republican said this about a quote, immigrant coming from Africa. Take a listen to this.
And he's only been a citizen, I'll say again.
Take a listen to this.
Mr. Musk has just been here 22 years, and he's a citizen of 3 countries. I always ask myself the question, with the damage he's doing here, When push comes to shove, which country is he loyalty to? South Africa, Canada, or the United States? And he's only been a citizen, I'll say again, 22 years.
So he's only been a citizen. Sounds racist to me. Sounds racist to me. I mean, these are all the things, and again, they're exposing themselves. These are all things that Democrats have done for a long time. But he's only been a citizen for 22 years, where you guys are standing up for illegals 24/7, saying, oh, poor them. Let's give them hotels. Let's give them food. And you have somebody that's been a citizen for 22 years, created more jobs than the government will ever create, private sector jobs, is doing more for the country right now with DOGE than ever that has been done in my lifetime. And you're upset that he's a legal immigrant that's been here for only 22 years. You can't make this stuff up with these folks. It's just great to see how triggered they get and how they expose themselves. Take a listen to this. It sounds like some federal workers were gathering at the Senate to demand answers over layoffs. I think it's pretty simple, don't you? I was laid off. They told me I was laid off because the company I worked for closed down, and our federal government now, with Donald Trump in charge, is laying them off before the federal government shuts down because we have no more money. But what are you demanding answers for? Take a listen to this, and I'm going to disagree with this, what this lady says, but just take a listen to him.
Can you tell us what your message is to these senators while we're walking?
I think it's really cruel to fire people for poor performance when they've only had great feedback. We've never had an issue with our performance, and we're doing work for the American public. We're here for safety, and we're patriots. We love our country. That's why we're taking these jobs that don't pay us in the private sector. I'm an accountant. I could get a private sector job tomorrow, but
Clap like a bunch of barking sills. So actually, data would prove otherwise. Your benefits and everything is usually much better if you get a federal job than if you're in the private sector, unless you got a really killer accounting job. And I'm not talking about looking over taxes at the IRS or some. I'm talking an actual accounting job where these people, they worked in DC, the hub. I promise you, if you worked in accounting in DC, because we have a lot of employees in Fresno that are hopefully going to be laid off from the IRS. A lot of those people don't want to work. A lot of those people go in and do as little as possible. They drag the day out. And but if you're in DC and you're in accounting for one of these places, USAID, the Department of Education, you're making good money. And sweetheart, you also have some really killer federal government benefits, including your retirement and everything else that isn't always afforded to those in the private sector. Because if you go and you're an accountant for a company that has 12 employees, you're not making a whole lot. The small businesses are always struggling to survive, and not all of them, but you know what I mean. The entrepreneurs, you got 12, you're bringing in so much money. You're not paying your accountant $230,000 a year. You're not even paying yourself that as a business owner. The healthcare that you offer, if you offer healthcare, is very minimal because of how much healthcare now costs under Obama. Ever since Obamacare, all those prices went up. And I think we got one more video here. I think or is that the same one? That might be the same one. But she's crying about losing her job and says she wasn't in it for the money, that she could get a job tomorrow in the private sector. Get out of the Senate building. Go get a damn job. All you're letting us know is you're a left-wing activist. That's it. That's all you're letting us know at this point. What else we got? Oh, this one, you guys, I'm going to piss off some women on this one. I'm going to tell you that right now. Let's take a listen.
On day one, and instead their priorities have been. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today with my newborn Sam, who's just 4 weeks old. Unfortunately, I wasn't given the opportunity to vote remotely after giving birth, but I wasn't going to let that stop me from being here to represent my constituents and vote no on this disastrous Republican budget proposal. Republicans and Trump promised to lower costs on day one, and instead their priorities have been focused on ripping healthcare away from kids, seniors, moms, and others who need it most. He's not going to save money. It includes people like my mom who work for hourly wages but are still unable to afford healthcare. When you don't have access to healthcare, you show up in the ER. This is going to have a huge burden on our hospitals and unfortunately will have skyrocketing costs. I agree, Sam. Hospitals will bear this burden. It also slashes SNAP, taking food off the plates for seniors, veterans, and kids, all to fund tax breaks for billionaires like Elon Musk while increasing our national deficit by trillions of dollars. How can anyone show their face in their district after voting yes for this? Thank you. I yield back.
Oh, we got a lot to talk about this one. So you know what? I have no problem if you're in a bind that you have a job where you can bring your kid to work, but to use them as a prop to completely lie, because the budget said nothing about cutting any of that. Again, using your child as a prop, and that child's 4 weeks old. You didn't give birth yesterday, sweetheart, and then run there with the umbilical cord hanging down. You didn't do any of that. So I don't know what kudos you're looking for, but you know what? I can tell you, I get calls sometimes. You guys have known. We hear about something going on. We got to leave right then and there, right? Oh, this is going on in LA. This is going on here. I hop in the car, I take my bags, and I go. And I don't drag my kid along, right? Because I have a family here. And Rachel says, guess what? We do what parents do. I'm going to watch him while you go to work. Now, I don't know her story. I'm assuming she's married and has a husband. And I'm assuming when she ran for political office, she realized she needed to be there. She knew the rules and she had to vote. This is what gives women a bad name. This is your typical feminist movement that gives women a bad name. You don't deserve no applaud, no accolades. Like I said, if you want to take your child to work, I am big on taking your child to work. I remember when I worked at a company, and I remember growing up, there was take your kid to work day, and those days have kind of moved on. I remember I was lucky when I got to take my kids to work for a couple hours. Like they had a doctor's appointment. I was like, come on, you can just go back with me and sit in my office. I enjoyed that. Again, I didn't have an important meeting. I didn't have a vote on a budget. No, I was sitting in my office, answering emails, answering calls, doing the stuff that I would normally do. But this kind of outlines where the Democrat Party is using little children for props. I mean, the same children that they want to murder in the womb. Think about that. The same children that they don't even want to be born. The anti-life group is now sitting here complaining and then lying to you about Medicaid, lying to you about budget cuts, because why? Their gravy train is coming to an end. Billions and billions of dollars that were funneled back through these left-wing activists, through NGOs and everything else, and they're feeling the pinch. And people like this, they won't be around too much longer. That is a promise. Again, the media has failed them. The legacy media has failed them. They are getting called out each day. And poor her, she has to be here with her 4-week-old. Oh, my gosh. I'm so sorry. Resign. That's how much I care. It was all a prop and all an act. Oh, man. Check this out. Mel Gibson blasts Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom at a press fire in Altadena. That's where the fire's in California. Gavin Newsom came out with a long press conference we're not even going to cover. I tried to listen to it for an hour or for a little while, and I just couldn't. We'll pick through the highlights tonight and rag on him tomorrow. But listen to this, because I listened to this, and again, Democrats, depend on your government. Your government should be there for your vegetables, your SNAP benefits, your medical, and guess what? You need to rely on them with firefighters as well. Now, this whole thing that happened in LA, 90% of it could have been prevented with preparations and a lot of other things that the Democrat governor did nothing about, the Democrat mayor, the DEI fire chief hire, and the rest of their staff. So I want you to listen to this, and then we're going to show you a Politico ad, which is just infuriating. But go ahead and take a look at this. This is from Right Now Views.
All my fellow citizens, they lost their homes. They have no recourse, no insurance payout because the carriers dropped them. Right. Even the carriers realized that California was ill-prepared and had scant resources to deal with the inevitable fires. They knew that. So are we supposed to believe that our elected officials didn't know that? Of course they knew that. Of course, Mayor Bass tweeted about the levels of danger days before she blew out of town. You know? Ugh. And we drove around in the PCH and into my neighborhood and various other neighborhoods, devastating. There was, I saw my houses and my friends and neighbors reduced to toxic piles of smoldering rubble, much like here in Altadena. I mean, one of the most pathetic and despicable things I've seen was when Karen Bass, in order to shift the blame and culpability from herself, wiped it on the fire chief and threw her under the bus for speaking the truth about how the department had been defunded and were without resources.
So much, we really appreciate it.
So after I seen this video, a Politico article popped up, and I couldn't believe it. They are, listen to this. LA billionaire Rick Caruso's private fire crews, the target of a California bill. Now, we covered this when this went on. Rick Caruso, who ran for the mayor of Los Angeles, and like a bunch of idiots, I'm sorry, you get what you vote for, and you voted for Karen Bass instead of someone that predicted all this would happen. He had private firefighters protect his mall and everything else, and very little damage. Some of the few buildings standing in the area. Because why? He was on top of it. He knew about the warnings. He was prepared. Now they're going to try to create a bill to prevent this. It says Sacramento, California, Los Angeles Democrats, of course, are teaming up with the statewide firefighters union on a bill aimed at private firefighting crews, such as the one billionaire developer Rick Caruso hired to protect his properties as devastating wildfires burn swaths of the region. The legislation would block private firefighting companies from hooking up to public hydrants, targeting a long-standing headache for the union. You know why? Because it makes the firefighters look bad, not because the firefighters are bad, but because their leadership is horrible. There is no clear indication that such activity was widespread or that it hampered the city's response to the Palisades fire that destroyed thousands of homes. But the 35,000-member California Professional Firefighters Union has long argued that private crews hinder their members' work and should be outlawed. Listen to this. They don't train with us. They don't train to the same standards, said Brian Rice, CPF president. They're not equipped like we are. They're not professionals like we are. And anybody that wants to argue and tell you differently, they're fooling themselves. Nobody's trained like a professional California firefighter. So you're telling me, and no offense, and I'm not bashing firefighters here. Don't get that. I have some friends that are firefighters. I've had a lot of friends that were volunteer firefighters for a long time when we got out of high school and they wanted to become firefighters, and they did volunteer work. Again, there's a lot of areas that have volunteer firefighters that do just as good a job as some of those paid firefighters, but that's besides the point. We won't get into the union argument there. But to sit there and say they're not as trained, well, guess what? These people kept buildings from burning down and your people didn't. Oh, we don't even have an argument anymore. Listen, I get it that they want a pat on the back for their training and everything else. If you're a private firefighter and you don't do the same training, guess what? All these people cared about is plug in the hose and aim it towards the fire. That's all they wanted. And that's all these people had to do to successfully save this property. And now California Democrats and, of course, a union wants to take that away from private people. Again, this is asinine. This is dumb. We're going to be in, and I don't have the money for a private firefighter. I don't. But if you do, I don't think you should be turned down for it. Again, I'm not punishing you because you're successful. I'm not going to go the Democrat route. Guess what I want to do? I want to hold our elected leaders accountable. I want to get people like Mayor Karen Bass, Gavin Newsom out of office so we can put competent people in there. So when there is a big fire, we don't need private firefighting crews. The only reason he needed it is because, again, Mayor Bass was incompetent. We had all the warning signs in the world, and it's just insane. That rant. Oh my gosh, we got KLM. RW identifies as a pregnant woman. Help his baby fund. Yeah, if you guys donate to us, Rumble chats, we'll make sure we get it to RW. Thank you, KLM79. Hey, we might be buying Caden a gift after all. Thank you. And this other one, you guys know this, and if you follow me on X or if you follow me for a long time, we'll troll sometimes. And it's just amazing that a lot of these people online are really never go out into the front lines. We go everywhere, whether it's a protest, whether what's going on, we're there to cover it when we're out and about, right? A lot of these people sit behind their little keyboard and their keyboard warriors and little bitches. And dang it, Pixie, I said that, Somebody put $1 in a swear jar. And I want to show you this screen name here because this person got called out, and I thought it was hilarious because we've done this before. SRO Martha Stewart, SRO living, cooking, gripes, musician, militant gay, homelessness, and PSH activism. DSA, Democrat Socialist of America, San Francisco, with the Hamas flags. And so the only reason I'm showing you this, check out this video on how he responds when somebody comes up to him and says, hey, aren't you this guy? Just listen to it.
Martha Stewart. Huh? What's my name? You know my name. You talk shit to me all the time whenever you see me. Oh, you walking away now, huh? My name's JJ Smith. You know who the fuck I am. You never heard of me, huh? You never heard of me, huh?
Look at how scared
You
he
never
is.
heard of me, huh? I'm just wondering why you don't want to talk now. You be talking all that shit to me. Yeah, turn your phone on, video record me. Video record me, show it to the police. It's not against the law to talk. It's not against the law to talk. Martha Stewart, I finally ran into you. You have nothing to say. But you have nothing to say to me, though. You's a keyboard warrior. You know that? You's a keyboard warrior. You know that? That's what you are. Because when you see me face to face, you have nothing to say. You have a lot of interactions on Twitter. And when you actually run into the person you have interactions with, you talk shit to, you have nothing to say. Oh, you want to run into Jackie Fielder's office.
Oh, that was great. We've done that some times before. And again, I just think it's, when people are behind the keyboard, see, with me, you get what you get. We'll be out live. It's no difference than anything. I am what I am. I come out and you have all these people that act like this, that, again, are keyboard warriors. And I thought that was just great to see. I love when people get called out in real life. All right, we're going to talk about, I don't know what's wrong with this thing. Give me 1 second. I'm going to see if I can fix something really quick. It is going to go black for a second. I'm going to All right, we should be back. I tried to fix something, man. There's good old Rumble Studio. Anyways, all right, so we are back. Harmeet Dhillon, listen to some of the interaction she had during her confirmation hearing. And I just want you guys to see how she absolutely schools these folks.
Had the opportunity to meet in your office yesterday. I gave you one example of California's failure to by the NVRA and make its voter rolls clean, and that is 1 million voters, quote unquote, in Los Angeles County alone, which the County of Los Angeles agreed in a consent
My
decree.
recollection, so I'm going to cut
not
you off because my
to-
time is limited. My recollection is the county agreed to adopt additional practices on maintaining voter rolls. All the lawsuits were unsuccessful.
Well, that's not true factually, Senator. Actually, I've won several lawsuits against California at the United States Supreme Court during the time that you were the Secretary of State. When we had the opportunity to meet in your office yesterday, I gave you one example of California's failure to
Dhillon is taking you to task right now. Good job on
by
her.
the
There was
NVRA
another
and
one
make its
from one of the
voter
whack
rolls
job
clean, and that is
liberals
1 million.
Well, let me pull this off here and think, yeah, this is it. Listen.
Position is that Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act requires actual discrimination and basically discriminatory intent before it will be deemed unconstitutional under Section 2. Is that correct? Is that your view of Section 2, Voting Rights Act?
I would say, to generalize, yes, it is.
So that means that unless there's discriminatory intent, unless say state legislature says, yes, we are about to enact legislation that will discriminate against a group, you do not think that Section 2 applies?
I disagree with your characterization, Senator. There are many ways to prove intent other than a blanket statement from a state legislature.
Ms. Rice, let me mention that under President Trump's Attorney General, Merrick Garland, they've filed a number of lawsuits under Section 2. For example, a law prohibiting civil groups from providing food or water to people who are standing in line to vote. There was no discriminatory intent. Would you have filed that lawsuit against that law?
Senator, I haven't had the opportunity to study all of the facts underlying those prosecutions by the Biden Department of Justice.
Well, excuse me, you know what, Merrick Garland also filed a lawsuit under Section 2, state law limiting counties' use of absentee ballot drop boxes. So there are a number of these kinds of voting rights laws that the states enacted after Shelby County, and in fact, 13 states very immediately passed all kinds of laws that made it a lot tougher to vote. So I'm just wondering, how are you going to decide which ones to go after? I mean, these obviously have the effect of discrimination against certain groups, making it harder for them to vote. How would you decide which of these kinds of voting rights laws enacted by states without, the obvious smoking gun?
Well, Senator, I have to disagree with the premise of your question that all of these measures that Georgia and other states took to improve confidence of all citizens in voting, in fact, had any form of discriminatory impact.
Excuse me, I only have a minute. I mean, obviously, there is disagreement. That is the crux.
Georgia and other states took to improve confidence of all citizens in voting, in fact, had any form of discriminatory impact.
Excuse me, I only have a minute. I mean, obviously, there is disagreement. That is the crux, isn't it, as to whether or not these laws actually have an anti-discriminatory effect. And you obviously do not think so.
Neither does the American people, folks. Again, this is one of those. It's funny, whenever a Democrat gets schooled up, oh, I only got so much time. We can't hear the truth now. We got to get my sound bite out. I got to clip this later and make it look like you're against black people voting. It doesn't work that way. And then listen to this one. This one
many
was
people
refreshing.
of the Jewish.
The same question as it relates to Title VI against universities that receive federal funds but who discriminate on the basis of race.
Senator, we have a problem throughout the United States, not just on the basis in universities, but also religion. We've seen anti-Semitism sweep the nation, and it is very problematic that many people of the Jewish faith are barred by professors and fellow students from access to the classroom. So yes, in addition to race, I would see religious discrimination and other forms of discrimination on campuses as an appropriate target for the Civil Rights Division.
The same question as it relates
awesome.
to
Talking
Title
about
VI.
Title IX and talking about Harmeet Dhillon has done some great work. She's been Trump's attorney for about 4 years. That will be great. And I think this is, we're going to get over to the DOGE committee and cover some of what the DOGE committee was covering. You guys got to love this right here. Again, more and more exposed. Let's listen in case you missed some of this today. Take a listen.
Mr. Roman, are you aware that we are sending $40 million a week to the Taliban?
Hold on, let me refresh that. It messed up. It messed up. Refresh.
Are you aware that we are sending $40 million a week to the Taliban?
Yes, sir.
Can you name other instances of foreign aid going to terrorist organizations?
We have assisted Al-Shabaab in Somalia. There's been instances of the Hamzi network in Sudan, Hamas, Islamic Jihad, Hezbollah, Kataib al-Hezbollah, Hayat Tahrir al-Shams in Syria. Dozens of terror organizations have received indirect assistance from U.S. foreign aid.
Another
Roman,
reason why Democrats are saying, hey, get that funding going. They want to fund the wars. They want to fund the terrorism. They want this money funneled. Listen to this right here. This is good. We don't talk about
20 seconds.
Brandon Gill often, but I like what he said here. And it was epic, especially to the woke person speaking.
How about $1.5 million to promote job opportunities for LGBTQ individuals in Serbia? Is that a reflection of American values?
Providing job opportunities for the world is absolutely in the interest of the American people.
Well, I would like to maybe challenge you if you really believe in promoting DEI. I've got about 20 seconds left. Then in giving jobs to somebody based on their minority status or the color of their skin or their sexual proclivities, you might want to consider stepping down from your job and giving it to somebody who has more minority points than you do. How about $1.5 million to
calls him out, but listen to what the guy agrees that was a good spend of your tax dollars. Watch. Listen.
How about $1.5 million to promote job opportunities for LGBTQ individuals in Serbia?
So $1.5 million to promote LGBTQP plus job opportunities in a foreign country. And he says, yeah, that's great. That's a great use of taxpayer money. These people
Is that a reflection of American values?
Themselves.
Providing job
opportunities. Destroying themselves. And it's fun to watch. Okay, so breaking, Department of Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins announced she will enforce policies to block illegal aliens from receiving food stamp benefits. Good. You're not a citizen. You shouldn't be getting citizen taxpayer dollars. And this was a letter from the Office of Secretary of Agriculture. On February 19th, President Trump issued an executive order entitled Ending Taxpayer Subsidization of Open Borders. As Secretary of Agriculture, I am committed to fulfilling the president's executive order. The Food and Nutrition Service at the U.S. Department of Agriculture plays an important role in providing nutrition services to vulnerable population in the interest of our nation. Program eligibility rules are determined by Congress. In 1996, Congress passed the Personal Responsibility and Work Opportunity Reconciliation Act. that generally prohibits illegal aliens from receiving federal benefits, including Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, which is SNAP benefits. With its enactment, illegal aliens in the United States should not depend on taxpayer dollars to take care of their needs. President Trump executive order reaffirms this important national policy and puts the needs of America first. When we said promises made, promises kept, when we said putting American citizens first, we have children starving in this country. We have a highest homeless population that we've ever had in the United States. And here we are giving our hard-earned tax dollars over to somebody who hasn't put in, that broke into the country. They're here criminally and illegally. Check this next one out. Bill Malugan posted this. On Monday, a Coachella City Councilwoman gave a sobbing interview to a local media after her husband was arrested in a Walmart parking lot by the FBI for ICE. My family was just separated, she cried out as she recorded the arrest. And listen to this. Here's what she left out. Her husband is a previously deported Mexican illegal alien with a lengthy rap sheet of several felony convictions, including possession of a controlled substance, which was meth, for sale, inflicting corporal injury to a spouse, DUI, and assault with a deadly weapon. So this woman comes out, and I can't believe she's a Coachella City Councilwoman, but she comes out, this is what Trump is doing, tearing our families apart. It says Isidro Jimenez Ibanez is also now looking at prosecution for felony re-entry, as federal authorities are now charging him with violation 8 USC 1326, illegal alien found in the U.S. after deportation, which was the reason for his FBI ICE arrest in the Coachella parking lot. The FBI had a criminal warrant signed by a federal magistrate when they arrested him. It's a felony to re-enter the U.S. illegally after deportation, punishable by 2 years in prison on the first offense. But let's just go through his offenses really quick, because again, Crimea River, people, right? Possession of a controlled substance for sale. So you're a drug dealer. That's what that is. Inflicting corporal injury to a spouse, DUI, assault with a deadly weapon. So, like, that's past 3 strikes. That's 4 strikes. It wasn't even 1 strike, you're gone. 2 strikes, you're gone. 3 strikes, you're gone. 4 strikes, still not gone. Now that we have Trump in office, these criminals that are out there selling drugs, assaulting people with a deadly weapon, they're getting arrested. Exactly what we voted for. And again, I'm going to have to look into that one more. I'm going to save this one so I can see who that Coachella City Council. I wish we were near Coachella. We'd go knock on her door. Listen to this. And here we go with CNN. I love this. GOP rep Maria Salazar on Venezuelan illegals in her districts. Listen.
As President Trump said during the cabinet meeting, he wants immigrants to come to the United States the right way. They're now potentially at risk of deportation because of some new immigration policies. What is your message to them and to the White House?
My message to the White House has been very clear. We have to make a differentiation between the Tren de Aragua and those Venezuelans who came in through the TPS. I am sure that we're going to come to an understanding. We're talking about 600,000 Venezuelans that our group expires in April, another group expires in September. And I'm sure that the Trump administration understands that these people who are here fleeing communism and that we need to keep them under that TPS protection. These are not illegals. This is not Tren de Aragua or MS-13. These are good people who came, and we welcome them, and I'm sure they're going to be able to stay.
As President Trump said during the cabinet meeting.
I don't know. The temporary protection status was purposely given to certain groups, Haitians, Venezuelans.
He wants immigrants to come to the United
States. They could substantiate having these people in the country. So I don't think that's going to happen. Again, just don't think it's going to happen. A man in Massachusetts who was arrested for allegedly raping a woman while working as an Uber Eats driver, has been revealed to be an illegal alien from Colombia. Imagine that. Listen to this.
4-digit code in order to complete the delivery.
That's when 21-year-old Colombian national Robert Rodriguez Melendez in court accused of rape the victim, a woman waiting for her food to be delivered by a female Uber Eats driver. The woman in the driver's profile, allegedly his own mother.
When the delivery driver arrived, it was a male party rather than the female party listed on the delivery driver's profile. The driver did not speak English, but told the named victim that she needed a 4-digit code in order to complete the delivery.
That's when trouble started. The victim allegedly let him in out of the cold and called her Spanish-speaking friend on a 3-way call to Uber tech support.
At some point during the call, the man gained possession of the victim's phone and disconnected the call.
The hang-up led to horror. Eventually, the rape in a nearby bathroom ended apparently due to the victim's Spanish-speaking friend calling her incessantly.
She reported that she picked up her phone, called Miss Maldonado back, and asked her to tell the suspect to leave.
Days after he fled the attack, police tracked the illegal immigrant down. His case moved from district to superior court. Prosecutors want him behind bars.
And prosecutors want him behind bars, but Democrats want him in your neighborhoods. They are actively telling these people how to avoid ICE, how to avoid any detection of federal law enforcement, guys. This is absolutely, it kills me. It kills me. It really does. It's sad. Check this out. New, the DOJ is charging a Russian national with assaulting a federal agent after he allegedly bit an ICE officer's finger while he was arresting him in downtown LA yesterday, fracturing the finger in the process. 35-year-old Maxim Zaitsev faces up to 20 years in prison if convicted. Check out that. I don't like looking at that. Check that out. This is what illegals, this is what Democrats are. They actually, in LA, they have activists out here trying to protect these people, warn them that ICE is coming. And I think we have, here it is. This is the criminal complaint, it looks like. Criminal complaint by telephone or other reliable electronic means. And so I wonder how again, it sucks. I think they should do some jail time, obviously, but I'm tired of our tax dollars going to support these people. Secretary Kristi Noem did this yesterday. I wanted to get this on yesterday's afternoon show, and we didn't have time. Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs, who's being investigated for a lot of stuff right now. There's some fraud. There's some money missing. Arizona governor who vetoed a bill not too long ago that was to protect the citizens of Arizona from illegal aliens. It says Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs just signed an executive order to partner with local and state law enforcement with federal government to secure our border and stop transnational gangs. Under President real Donald Trump's leadership, leaders of every political stripe are stepping up to secure the border and making America safe. Governor Katie Hobbs tweeted today, I signed an executive order launching Operational Desert Guardian to combat cartels, stop drug smuggling and human trafficking, and secure Arizona's border. This is just great, guys. This is great. I mean, when you talk about winning, you talk about a lot. Now, this one, I think some of you guys will find interesting. We talk a lot about the drug smuggling and everything else. Let me pull this back up. This is from Department of Government Efficiency. This is from DOGE. And again, they're doing their research. They're looking into where fraud could be, manipulation. Let me pop this up a little bit bigger. Says a former ICE employee and Biden transition team member joined family endeavors in early 2021 and helped secure a sole source HHS contract for overflow housing from licensed care facilities. As a result, Family Endeavor's cash and portfolio of investments grew from $8.3 million in 2020 to $520.4 million in 2023. Since March 2024, HHS has paid $18 million a month to keep the Pecos facility open despite sitting empty. With national licensed facility occupancy now below 20%, HHS was able to terminate this contract, saving taxpayers over $215 million annually. Now, this was also tweeted out for an investigation. And again, this is where the winning comes in, and I hope something comes out. Department of Government Efficiency put tagged Secretary Noem, DHS, and Eagle Ed Martin. And Ed Martin, U.S. Attorney, says, I see it. We will dig into this. I mean, you're talking about same day that they come up with this stuff, that the people Trump has put into place are saying, hey, something's not right here. What would that say? 540 million? 520 million in 2023. Just absolutely insane. See. And then I'm not even going to go over that one today. Let's see. I thought I had one more that was on here. No, I think that's it, guys. I think that's it for today's afternoon show. I want to say thank you to everybody. Let me read some comments. Should be strict sentencing, making examples out of those that help hide the illegals that are putting Americans at risk for their cause. Amen, Jalen. The petition. I will make an announcement. I will have some printed out on the recall. And I know I've been busy. I haven't been able to get in any meetings about that or anything, but I will do some stuff here in Fresno shortly. We'll do some type of recall Newsom petition drive or something. And I will announce it on here and on X. So there's no excuses. If you get on a live stream in like a month and you're like, I didn't know, that means you weren't following on X. See, I take out the excuses. Tammy Jane says, Josh, thanks for the real news. Country Girl at Heart says, good show. Thank you. Texas RW says, hey, if you guys want to help buy Caden a birthday gift, that's what I think it says right there. You can donate now. Let's see. So I just want to say thank you for all you guys being here. I'm going to, if anything breaks later, I will be gone for a little while. I'm going away for my nephew who's moving away for a job. And so we're going to celebrate him and celebrate his job. So, but after that, I will be around the studio. Hopefully nothing breaks. And if I'm not online later, you will see me tomorrow morning, probably around 11 a.m. Left Coast Pacific time to 11 a.m., 2 p.m. on the East Coast. That should probably be the first show. And again, want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in. If you guys do want to contribute, you like the content, you like what we do, you can donate at Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App $Oreo Army, givesendgo.com/Oreo 2024. And if you prefer Zelle, you can go over to our website, theoreoexpress.com. And there's a donate now button. We are 100% viewer funded. Can't do this without you. And just want to say thank you. We appreciate you guys. Have a great evening tonight. And we will see you guys. If not later, we will see you tomorrow for sure. God bless.
I'm excited to announce that we're having our first ever mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save over 50% on this season's flannel sheets. Queen size only $59.98. Kings only $69.98. They sell out fast every year, so order now. Save 20% on our brand new My Crosses. They're designed in the likeness of the one I've worn every day for over 20 years. They come in men's and women's, and they're made right here in the USA. Get our 2025 six-piece My Towel sets for only $29.98. Our initial quantities are are extremely low, so get them now before they go. And our best-selling standard MyPillows, just $14.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our first ever mega sale. But wait, remember that $75 free shipping rule? Well, that ship is sailed because right now, every order ships absolutely free.